Hello and welcome to Hibs TV. After progressing through to the next round of the Scottish Cup at the weekend, the Hibees are now returning to league action, and it's sure to be a lively one tonight as we welcome Rangers to Easter Road, kick-off at 7:45 p.m. And just like Storm Aisha, there's a man joining us today that's caused his fair few storms here at Easter Road, a man who knows how to disrupt tonight's opponents. It is Hibs hero Ivan Sproule.
Sproule going in and goal, and I think he scored. He has. Hibs have opened the scoring. Roman Grant's on the chase. Grant's still there. That's good play. And that's a beautiful second goal by Sproule. Oh, what a finish. Brown again. The brain behind the goal, of course. Look at the face of Sproule. He's still in there, Sproule. It's going to be number 3. It's a hat-trick. Never believe it. The substitute comes on at Ibram and decimates the Rangers defence.
Ivan, welcome to Hibs TV. How was your journey, first of all, to actually get to Easter Road?
Well, listen, anybody that says that I don't love Hibs would be crazy, because I'm not a great flyer, so I think B.A. Baraka's and the A-team was the description this morning. I knew I had to come. No, listen, a great flight in, and I've luckily enough I've brought my 3 boys and my wife over me to sample about Easter Road Stadium tonight. So no, flight in was great. We spent the day in around Edinburgh showing my kids some of the sights. So no, as I say, looking forward to a cracker tonight, and hopefully on the right end of the 3 points for Hibs.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's probably made your evening already better. Looking back at that hat-trick, it must bring back so many fond memories.
Oh, listen, as I said, just walking onto the pitch with a few old friends there, you know, you take a look at the pitch and you just start memorising certain parts of the pitch where moments happen and stuff. So, no, Rangers was obviously ones attached to me, and I think even in the taxi drive in from the hotel to here, I think I had 5 goals against Celtic and 4 against Rangers, but it doesn't matter how many goals I got anywhere else. The hat-trick against Rangers will always stand out for everybody. But listen, memorable times against the Old Firm, and as I said, it's a place that you can endear yourself as opposed to the Hibs fans, and let's hope there's another man out there that can do that tonight, and as I said, keep coming out of the right side of the result and pick up 3 points.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk to me about Tony Mowbray and how he helped you and elevate you in your career.
Well, as I said, Tony was obviously a fantastic father figure to a lot of that squad that come around at that time. It was probably at that time known as probably a bit of a golden generation with Scott Brown, Derek Reardon, Gary O'Connor, Kevin Thompson, Gary Cobble, Ian Moore. You know, you name them all. There's plenty that I forgot about there, and I was just coming at the tail end of that. So, no, Tony done a great job with us all. He bonded us all. I think he was kind of a father figure when you chat about man management and look at what he's done even now down in England. I know he's obviously changed clubs again there, but a fantastic man manager, I would call him, and someone that certainly plucked me from the Irish League for £5,000 and I suppose squeezed every last ounce of football in the build out of me. So credit goes to him, and listen, a big large part of my international career and the footballing career is owed to Tony Mowbray, because he certainly knocked off whatever rough edges I had.
Yeah, and you absolutely loved obviously your time at Easter Road at Hibs. I suppose the real pinnacle of that was the League Cup victory.
Certainly did. Listen, you know, I always say Hibs will go with me to my grave, and I don't say that lightly. I literally, you can't take away memories that you have throughout your career, and you know, even sitting on the plane this morning with my 3 boys to bring them to Easter Road tonight, they've been here kind of individually, but the first time they collectively have been together, and just the drive in tonight, you know, thinking all those years back ago and the memories that I've had here, it's a magic place. You know, and it holds so many special memories. Yes, you mentioned the League Cup that we won, and I can remember, well, what I can remember that night of when we come back with the cup onto this pitch and we paraded around. The old stand was there and stuff, and you'll never lose memories like that. Even when we drove in, you know, through the city, I can remember the open top bus that night, and just magic memories and great friends. The club have been fantastic to me even since I've moved on and moved back home. I've been over several times, I've been asked back, and every time I've come back, it's the fans blow you away that they never forget. So no, listen, a special place, and Hibs means so much to me.
When you were driving in, were you saying to your kids, "Oh, we drove down here with the trophy," or when you came out onto the pitch, were you saying, "Oh, that stand wasn't quite like that when I was here"?
No, they do. They ask loads of questions. My biggest lad's 16 now, and as I said, he's been over once or twice before. The youngest lad, that's actually his first time, and they're inquisitive and they want to know, and they watch on the TV, and they've always, every year I would always buy them the Hibs shirt now, so they've been brung up, hubbies, they're actually round at the shop now getting 3 new ones, so as I say, special memories for them, and I can't wait tonight till the game kicks off and they see the crowd in here, and it's a special place, and it's magic to me, and even my wife coming back tonight, she remembers some of the great times we had here, and as much as it is about football and about results and about doing well, it's about the people you meet in the journey along the way, and it's not just obviously even the players, it's the people on the backroom staff, the media people, the physios, the kit men, the groundsmen, the people that do the hospitality. It's a family, and I think that's the thing that Hibs always had. It's something that you go to clubs and they don't really get that connection, but certainly at Hibs there's people in the background that I've stayed good friends with now the remainder of my life.
Yeah, it's a really, really special club, and we were talking about your kind of special memories. Before we touch upon tonight's game, obviously we returned from the winter break and beat Forfar 1-0 in the Scottish Cup. How important is a cup run for a club like Hibs?
Well, listen, a win tonight, I suppose, going back to the league campaign, another win tonight pushes us back up there again, or even a positive, a point. Rangers and Celtic are very much going to battle it out for the league, but I think for us as well, that cup campaign can kick you on in the league, and going to places like we did at the weekend and grinding out that 1-0 result. You can see, listen, everybody's been on the back of them at some point in their career. You go to a lower league club and you don't just quite to get the result, and you can't put your finger on how that didn't happen. So nobody remembers them earlier on rounds when you actually are standing there in the final to try and win it. Yep. But to me, at the weekend, that was just one of the ones. It's about getting over the line, and it's about getting a job done, and we did that. And you can't forget we've got the 3 boys away on international duty. There's players coming back into the squad. They're just back out of training camp. So there's a lot of factors to factor in there. But for me, it's about getting through. And hey, listen, we're into the next round, and we'll look forward to the next round. And as I said, trying to get that progression in the Scottish Cup, because listen, unfortunately, was in the bad beating, and on one of the finals was probably the biggest regret I've had in my time at Hibs. I thought I could have done the League Cup and the Scottish Cup. It didn't work out, but we seen it at one when we turned around and won it. And listen, I was one of the ones, and as a fan that day, and the tears when we won it. So who says we can't do it again this year? Yeah,
absolutely. And obviously the supporters are looking at the highlights from the game right now. Obviously, Joe Newell missed a penalty in that one, but this game, like you said, is a great example of a lower league side that know their pitch. It's a huge game, a cup final essentially for them, and they played very well on their own patch.
Well, listen, as I said, every team, when you go away to a lower league team, playing Hibs, Hearts, Rangers, Celtic, Aberdeen, the big boys, you're always going to get put up against it. And I would expect every lower league team to want to put it up to you. They'd want to say, well, listen, we're as good as you, we can match you. You've got all that enthusiasm and endeavour to get through. You take a look at the rest of the results in the Scottish Cup at the weekend. Not just the Hibs result. Teams weren't blowing one another away. There's close margins. Go down to the FA Cup, there's close margins. Yeah. So I use that as a perspective. Sometimes we can be harsh on our own players because we think we should be winning 5 and 6-0. Football doesn't work like that. But that for me is a mentality building exercise for our players when they do get through those grinding results away from home at maybe places that they don't fancy, like a big crowd tonight. So listen, a result that we have to get through, or we had to get through at the weekend, and all I'm looking forward to now is the progression for the rest of the season in the league, and I suppose watching how we go in the Scottish Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously on tonight's game, there's been the boost in the build-up to this one in terms of 2 new boys coming in, Mazzani Melida and Emiliano Marcondes. 2 difficult names to say as well. The big boost in terms of quality additions that can add to this squad of players.
Well, first of all, I'm not going to try and pronounce their names if you ask me. But no, certainly, listen, seeing the 2 names and the 2 players coming in, you obviously watch a few highlights of them, and two exciting players, and for me, probably players that we need to get into the squad at the minute. You know, with a few players that we've got out, it adds to the squad. And what I would say, we need strength and depth, but we need now players as well to stand up and deliver. And you know, when I think about tonight, I think the players are involved in the matchday squad tonight. If I'm right, there's nowhere better place to start tonight to endear yourself to this you know, Hibs crowd, because once you catch on to them, they'll come right behind you. And I think sometimes for me, maybe going back to my own career, if you can do that and you can ignite something in them, whenever you play for them, there's something special happens between you. So listen, that goes for the players that are there before and the players that have come in now. They expect here at Hibs, there's no doubt in that. You have to handle that pressure, you know, and for me, it's about time we started building foundations again. And it's, for me, this season, everybody's got their own objective and their own way that they want this season to pan out. For me, it's just about putting them foundations in now, being a wee bit more solid, identifying our brand of football. And as I said, some of those players that we're starting to bring in, and I'm pleased to see what the manager's trying to do. He's trying to excite, and for me, that's the way I think that the Hibs brand's always been.
Yeah.
And when I was, you know, brung into it and I had to learn about, you know, some of the cracking players went before me, Mickey Weir example, and players that got to get you up to the edge of your seat. Well, these are the players hopefully we're bringing in now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're just going to go to a quick commercial break now, but make sure you do stay with us, because we will be hearing from our new man Emiliano Marcondes alongside Nick Montgomery, and of course getting more expert analysis from Ivan Sproule, so make sure you stay with us.
Simplexity Travel is made up of some of London's leading bespoke travel managers. Simplexity specialise in luxury travel services for corporate and private clients, groups and individuals who lead busy lives. Simplexity will simplify challenging schedules and complex trip itineraries, ensuring our clients always travel with complete peace of mind and in perfect luxury. Simplexity Travel, making luxury travel simple.
Welcome back to Hibs TV as we continue to build up to today's cinch Premiership match against Rangers here at Easter Road. One man that will be keen to make his mark is our new signing, Emiliano Marcondes, who's joined on loan for the rest of the season from AFC Bournemouth. Ahead of this one, I caught up with him. Emmy, welcome to Hibs. There's been a lot of interest from Hibs in you for quite some time now. Obviously now it's over the line. How happy are you to finally get this all done?
Yeah, I'm very happy to be here. It's been interest, like you said, from the summer also when I was injured as well. So that's nice to feel that way. To feel wanted is always nice. And even though I was injured in the summer, I felt the interest. So I'm very happy to be here and to see all the facilities, to meet the boys and the people around here. It's been good.
Yeah, you had a lot of clubs interested in you since you've got back to full fitness now. Why did you choose Hibs? Was it because of the interest for a long time?
Yeah, I think that played a big part. I think right now I need some consistency in playing and a place where I can feel I play the football that I want to, and that suits me. And also the interest from the manager and the conversations I've had with him has been very good. And also I want to try something new, a new country. I know it's still the UK, but it's a different league, and that's what I wanted as well, to test myself. But yeah, just to get out there and play football is the most important for me right now, because I've been injured for a long time. So yeah, I'm just very motivated and excited to be here.
Well, we just heard from Emiliano just then. When a new player comes into the dressing room with the experience that he's got in terms of playing in big games, playing in playoffs, scoring goals in a playoff final, winning the Danish Super League as well, what does that do for a squad?
Well, listen, I suppose it brings him in, and he's got a reputation behind him. He's got big game experience behind him, which is probably something that the manager's looked at and wants to bring into the squad. For me, it's just about him now getting in and enjoying his football. I think when he gets in tonight and he gets on that pitch, if he gets involved, he'll hear that roar, he'll get that feel for it, and hopefully he's one of the ones that now come up through the rest of the season can kick us on. As I say, his importance in the team will be vital with his experience, but it's now what he does in the pitch. Yeah. And I think for me, for the remainder of the season, for all the players, not just the new players that are there, it's what we do now from going forward. I know they've been away and had a good break there and a good training camp, and I think by all accounts everything went well there and it's refreshed them. So I think for the full squad, not just the new lads that are coming in, I think the bite needs to be there in the second half of the season. But certainly with him, he's something new to the fans. He's something new for myself to take a look at and get excited about. So hopefully tonight, as I said, we're going home tonight and his name, along with the rest of them, is on the tips of our tongues, and we're chatting about a positive result. Yeah, absolutely. And in that interview, he kept repeating about the style of play that Hibs have in terms of wanting to dominate possession, create chances, and he chose Hibs because of that style of play. As a player, how important is that the selection of the club so you can really go on and flourish? Well, I think that any player now will do his research to where he's going and what kind of, I suppose, what's the manager's like, what the brand of football's like, and he will have looked into that. For me, again, it's a big club, and I think the best players want to be there with a bit of pressure in your back. He'll come in here and he'll have to deliver. As I said, it's an exciting time for him to come in. The way we play, the way we want to go forward, the way we want to score goals. As I said, I'd like to see a bit more of that, to be honest with you. If I'm being honest, I want to see a wee bit more of us being on the front foot. But certainly what the manager's trying to do with the people he's trying to bring in, he's shown that he wants that as well. So again, it's just now about delivering. As I said, it's now the time the club are trying to bring these people in, players and exciting players. But as I said, we can talk all we want here now. We want to see it in the pitch, and as I said, those kinds of players hopefully are the ones that can deliver that, and as I said, excite us for the remainder of the season. Absolutely. And Ivan was just saying there about the players being brave and being on the front foot, and that's exactly what Nick Montgomery wants to see tonight. I caught up with him just to discuss tonight's game. Nick, obviously a quick turnaround in fixtures from the Forfeit game. How have the preparations been leading into Rangers?
Yeah, it's been good preparation apart from the weather. I think the wind has taken away half the training ground. We lost the shed with all the gear in, so I think part of the session when we came back in was picking up all the gear that was scattered everywhere across the training ground. But other than that, it's been good preparation. Important that the 4-5 game with the squad that we had is that it gave me, well, it didn't give me the opportunity, but I took the opportunity to rest Jordan Abita, Dylan Levitt, Dylan Vente, because again we've got a big fixture pile up coming up. And right now, we've been really low on bodies, so it's been really important. I keep saying the same message: is just to manage the squad as best as we have at the minute, and that's meant a real opportunity for some of the young players. And the likes of Rudy getting a start, his first start for the club, and Rory getting another start against Forfar. They're the games that can really turn you into men, because they're not easy. They're real difficult games. All the pressure is on you to win the game, and you're talking putting pressure on two 16, 17-year-olds that have been used to playing academy football. So, on that side of it, I'm no doubt in the next couple of years you're talking players that come through the academy when they're 19, 20, they can be regulars, in the first team for Hibs with good value. But yeah, it's moving on to this game. We'll go in as strong as we can with the 2 new signings, hopefully both available for selection.
Yeah, you mentioned obviously new signings. Emiliano Marcondes comes with quite a big reputation. He's obviously done well in his career, particularly down south in England as well. How big of a signing is he?
I think he's a big signing. I think he's not really a statement, but I think he's a signing of where we want to go as a club in this second half of the season. I think there's a lot of games where we've been very good and probably not got the results that we deserved, and sometimes it's key moments in the game. You look at the Hearts game, where we had double the amount of goal attempts, we had a lot, more possession than them. It was the only game that I've lost at Easter Road, and it was a 94th minute where we missed a lot of opportunities. So he's a player that's got real quality, like Mizani, who can really probably decide a game that's tight. And there's been games where we've had lots of opportunities and we haven't really killed teams off. But you need quality, and again, what we needed is a little bit of competition for places. We need a little bit of impact off the bench, so it's been a big ask for the front 4, and that's been Boyley playing up front with Vente, and obviously Ellie and Jair coming in, who's not played for 40 months. So it's been a big ask on them, and we've not really had many boys fit to really put pressure on them and to come off the bench and make an impact. So I think it's 2 players coming in, but Emiliano's track record, he scored big goals in big games. He's played in some massive games, and yeah, he's a player that I think if we can get the best out of him for the next 4 or 5 months, he can really help us achieve what we're trying to achieve this season. Yeah, fans are definitely excited to see him and Mizian. Could that happen on Wednesday? Hoping they both can be available for tomorrow, and yeah, I'll see tomorrow. But no, they'll both be involved, whether starting or off the bench. And I think what's important is they're just coming into the team, is that we manage them and make sure that we build them up over a couple of weeks, and we get them ready to be starting games and really helping the team. Yeah, Rangers have obviously been doing very well of late. How tough do you think Wednesday night will be? Yeah, they're a good team. I think they've got 1 player away on international duty. We've got 4. So it's for them. I think they've got 1 player missing, but they've got a good squad. They're a top team. They're very direct in terms of like to get at teams. Really like to get forward, and they've got some pace. We've got technical players, and yeah, that's why they're one of the top teams in the league. So yeah, we have to be ready for that, but also we concentrate on ourselves. We know the way that we play, and yeah, we know that if we play to the best of our ability, that we can get a result against anybody. So we're at home in front of Easter Road, a crowd who have been fantastic, and yeah, it's the first sort of game back of the second half of the season at home, after getting a good result away at Forfar in a tricky game. So yeah, we'll be ready for the game and really looking forward to it. Yeah, just finally, what do you want to see from your players? I just want to see the same effort, the same desire that we've seen most games, and yeah, I want to see confidence and us to be brave. We're at home. We know that we're good at home, so I just want to see the boys go out there and express themselves and give everything they got. And yeah, right now it's great to have a couple of extra bodies involved for tomorrow, and yeah, the window's still open, so we'll still work to see if we can improve. And I think the club's shown that if we get the right players with the right quality, within reason, yeah, they'll try and help us bring them players in, and also an opportunity for some players to go out on loan and get game time that possibly haven't had enough game time this season. So it's always a difficult period and a little bit hectic. I'm hoping once this window closes, we'll come out of the other side, and then we get the boys back from international, and we get the couple of injured boys back, and we'll have a good strong squad going into the second part of the season.
Yeah, 100%. Good luck tomorrow.
Cheers, thank you.
Well, we just heard from Nick Montgomery just then, and earlier on in the show you were talking about the golden generation that came through as well against Forfar. Rory Whittaker, 16-year-old, and 17-year-old Rudy Molotnikov both started that game. It's a huge opportunity for them and a huge learning curve, isn't it, for later on in their careers when hopefully they become regulars for a Hibs side.
Well, that's what we want. We want to see young, exciting talent come into the club. We want to see our youth academy producing players that can, ultimately step into the first team. So we're not ultimately paying big fees out to bring in players. So that's fantastic for the club as a package. And for those young players out there on Saturday, that will stand them in great stead to go out there and, as I said, now develop the careers here, because again it's a place that the fans will get behind you, not just the senior players, the younger players. They will help them a lot. So no, as I say, it's exciting times for all, and hopefully those young players can go on and deliver now, and as I said, they're in good hands now with Nick and the coaching staff, so hopefully they can go on now and have a great career ahead of themselves. Yeah,
absolutely. And obviously two signings have come in like we discussed. How do you think they will help going into tonight? Do you think it's just a kind of elevates the crowd, the dressing room as well? Because they've not been in the building too long.
I think it energises the crowd. I think it energises the squad. I think it gets the squad on their toes. Again, when the squad gets bigger, players start looking over their shoulder. I'm only speaking from a personal point of view. When I was a player myself in the squad, you're starting to look across your left and your right. Yes, them players running to help you, but ultimately there'll be players sitting in that change room thinking, is he here to take my place or is he not? And ultimately we need squad football to make it bigger, but I'm only speaking from personal experience. I wanted to start in that 11. I wanted to play. I wanted to be on, and if I didn't play, I wanted to be on that bench. And I think we need competition for places. And it can't be an easy ride here to get your starting 11 place. And I think ultimately that'll be the thing that'll drive the squad on to the end. That if the squad gets stronger and people are fighting for places and they're all in the one boat, that can only bode for a good end of the season for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned earlier about wanting to see Hibs on the front foot. Nick Montgomery in his interview said that he wants to see the players be brave, to believe in themselves. What do you think Hibs have to do tonight to come away with 3 points?
Just exactly what you said, be brave. That's easier said than done, but it's having that self-belief. I suppose off camera you spoke to me about it, and it's one of those things that you've ultimately got to turn around here and come out onto the pitch and believe that you're going to get the result. You've got to go toe-to-toe, because I think against Rangers and Celtic, when them clubs smell blood, they'll take it. When they see that you're weak and that they can pick, a weak spot at you, they'll do it. But when you put it back up to them again and play to your potential and believe in yourself and trust the system, trust what you're trying to do. And as I always said, it never took anybody to tell me from the coaching staff on the sideline, to believe in myself against Rangers and Celtic. That came from within. And I think players have to do that a wee bit more now these days. Believe that they're going to go out and beat Rangers and Celtic. As I said, show respect. Ultimately, two of the biggest clubs in world football, Rangers and Celtic, but ultimately you can't just show too much respect. You've got to believe when you get into the final third as a player that you're going to go and hurt them. You've got to believe that you're going to score goals against them, and ultimately all over the park you've got to believe that you can match them, as I said. And no matter what the manager does for you tactically wise during the week, there's a certain element when you line up on that pitch, the manager can't help you. You've got to deliver yourself. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, it's been a little while, so we'll just have a quick look at the league table. Obviously, our opponents tonight, Rangers sit in second, Hibs in sixth. Obviously, tonight's game is one of those kind of game in hand, one of the games in hand. How vital would 3 points be just to elevate now this second half of the season?
I think the lift it'll give you, for everyone, as I said, there's 2 games in hand to be had there, and you're ultimately looking at that as a squad and as a staff and as a club, and thinking if we can get those, they started off tonight with a few points, and ultimately 3 would be massive, and it just elevates confidence. Listen, any time you beat Rangers or Celtic, let's not lie about it, it gives you a real boost. Same thing as when you beat Hearts, it gives you that, ultimately gives you another push on. So for me tonight, if we can get those 3 points and a positive performance, it'll kick us on, and then it makes players believe, and then you take that on to the next game and the next game. And as I said, there's been a cup win at the weekend, and that's what we want to keep building on tonight. There's another positive performance. Ultimately, we would love 3 points.
Yep.
If we got one, you maybe possibly still could be happy, but 3 would be massive. And as I said, it would put a lot more self-belief into the squad, and then hopefully, as I said, we bring new players in and then bring the players back from international duty. I think it bodes well for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and obviously you mentioned it earlier, but there are players away on international duty, most notably obviously Martin Boyle, who would have relished a night like tonight. Is this where either one of the new lads or Eli Yuan just need to kind of step up and show or grab the game almost by the scruff of the neck?
Well, that's it. Listen, as I said, Martin's, take him out of any team, he's going to be a miss. He's one that really excites me when I watch him. I love watching him playing on the Hibs shirt now. He's shared a few messages back and forth with him and stuff, and he's doing great out with Australia there. He's just scored his first penalty in that, so that's great to see him doing well. But just what you mentioned there, other players then taking his place and stepping up. And I think, if you go back again to my time, we had that where we always had to look to our left and our right, and those players that were probably grabbing your place, but you knew ultimately you wanted to grab theirs, and for your own personal reasons, but just as a team outfit as well. Ellie's certainly one I've watched as well, and he can blow teams away. He can do things that other players probably can't do in the pitch, and tonight set up for someone like him in the final third to just again explode. Listen, we've seen what he done at Tynecastle, which was fantastic. And I just hope he can do that tonight, against a Rangers side. And there's others as well, as I said, believing in yourself in the final third and going and grabbing the highlights tonight, and ultimately getting your team 3 points, but more importantly raising your stock as a personal player, and as I said, showing that you can handle big matches like tonight and big games when they come around.
Yeah, and just finally, obviously on this game, we haven't spoken much about Rangers under Clement. They've been very, very good of late, really kind of kicked on. How difficult do you think tonight will be for Hibs because of how much Rangers have developed?
I think they've progressed. I do think that his appointment was a shrewd enough one. I think he certainly looks like a no-nonsense manager. I think he's going to go in there and, they had, I suppose, disruption in a few seasons ago there, and now he's come in there and I think he's trying to stamp his authority. Listen, it's going to take him time as well. He's got, again, a big squad there, and he's made a few acquisitions himself, so it's one of those ones I can see it as in he's trying to build something there at Rangers. Listen, there's always going to be demands at Rangers and Celtic, and ultimately that comes with winning the league. But he'll know himself coming to places like Easter Road as well. This is where he'll be judged. He'll be judged in coming here tonight after his break. And as I said, they're cup one, and ultimately they're expected to come here tonight and get 3 points. Every time Rangers and Celtic roll up, they're expected to get 3 points. So ultimately, his fans will be down there tonight, and every game that you play for Rangers and Celtic, I think there's a crisis after every one. So let's hope we can create another crisis from tonight.
That is a perfect way to end the show, Ivan. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you to everyone who's watched at home as well. You can watch tonight's game on pay-per-view on Hibs TV. So if you haven't got your match pass yet, make sure you get it now. Thank you very much for watching.